Всем привет! Okay, we are back. We are up to lesson 28. Yeah, so lesson 28 is about constructions with the word which and declension of this word. I think this is a fairly easy lesson. It's really just about one word, and you can see a form of it here, который. There are different declensions of it, which we'll see in the lesson, but basically, so the word which, W-H-I-C-H, has two primary meanings in English. First, it has a function as a question, what you call an interrogative function, because it works as a question. So you might ask somebody, which pizza do you want? Maybe you have a pizza with, I don't know, with ham on it, and then maybe you have a pizza with tomatoes on it, and you say, well, which type of pizza do you want? That's a question word. Then which can also function as a relative word. If you say something like, well, here's an example of it here. Дом, который построил Джек. This is a Russian translation of the house that Jack built. So you can say this is a house. You can say Jack built this house, but you can also say this is the house that Jack built. In modern contemporary English, I think the word that is more common than the word which. You see they're using here which in quotation marks there, but either works. You can say that's the house which Jack built, or it's the house that Jack built. Both of those are correct, I think. In that sense, I think the word that and the word which are pretty much interchangeable. So that's really all this is about. This is really just about using который in the sense of which in the second sense, using it as a relative word. So let's go ahead and get started. So here we have a dialogue. It looks like that's pretty awesome. This appears to be in a travel agency, and the travel agency is called Ololo. Bearing in mind that the wonderful Edward Hill, who is famous for his I don't remember the Russian name of the song. The English title is something like I'm very happy because I'm going home. But he was, of course, a Russian singer, became famous in the internet age for an old video of him singing that song, which actually contains no lyrics. And it does not actually feature him saying, oh, lo, 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 but many people interpreted him as saying something like lo, 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 and so became associated with that. Anyway, let's go ahead and listen to the dialogue. So we have here a турагент, a tour agent, and a клиент, a client, customer who is presumably looking for a vacation package. So let's listen in.
А вот еще хороший вариант. Многие туристы, которые были там, говорили, что им понравился и отель, и море, и сервис.
Это дорого. Для семьи, в которой 5 человек, это очень дорого.
Ну, согласен. А вот еще вариант. Отель, который вы видите на фото, новый, ему только 2 года.
Да, но кроме отеля я не вижу ничего. Нет моря, нет магазинов.
Ну, это не центр города, но это очень дешево.
Давайте еще посмотрим.
Вот еще вариант. Этот отель находится рядом с отелем, который вам понравился, но стоит он не так дорого, и море, о котором вы мечтаете, совсем рядом.
Мне нравится этот вариант. Я хочу заказать этот тур на 2 недели и на 5 человек.
Отлично. Итак, и еще я должен вам сказать, что есть документы, без которых вы не можете лететь. Это паспорт, виза, вот номера телефонов, по которым вы можете звонить в экстренных ситуациях. Вот каталог ресторанов, в которых не очень дорого. Вот список экскурсий, на которые обычно едут туристы. А вот это цена, за которую вы можете купить этот тур. А вот скидка, которую мы можем вам дать, если вы купите тур сейчас.
Спасибо, я буду платить сейчас. Вы кредитки принимаете?
Да, конечно.
Okay. These dialogues have become a lot less awkward. At the beginning they were quite painful, but they've become a lot more normal since then. So, as usual, perhaps not surprisingly, we see a couple of uses of this word here, который, already in this dialogue. So let's go ahead and let's go through the dialogue again, and as usual, fill in the blanks.
А вот еще хороший вариант.
And here is still a good variant, like a good variation, I guess. Really, it means like option. You know, when you have several options open to, you can also call them variants, right? So you can say, yeah, options or variants.
Многие туристы, которые были там,
Okay, hold on. So, okay, so you can see actually all the blanks that we have to fill in are variations of this word kuturi. So it's a little bit unfair right at the beginning to expect you to know how the word is formed when you don't really know how it's formed yet, but we can cheat a little bit and come down here, and here we'll see the pronoun kuturi in all cases and all genders. So there's, yeah, the genders are at the top. There's he, it, she, and they. And then you have the 6 cases lined up on the left. Well, we'll get into that later. For now, I'll go ahead and fill in the blanks since I happen to have the correct answers in front of me. So the first one is которые. So, много туристы, many tourists, которые были там, who were there.
говорили, что им понравился и отель, и море, и сервис.
So, the first part of the sentence, многие туристы, which means many tourists, and then it says, которые были там, who were there. So again, we see that the word которые, it doesn't function without context. It's like if... It's like, again, if you think about the house which Jack built, you can say that is the house which Jack built. But if you just say the clause which Jack built, you're missing the subject. You're not. It's not clear what you're talking about. So here, if you just say которые by itself, it's not clear what которые is referring to. But because he just said many tourists, then it's clear he's talking about the tourists. So he's saying many tourists which were there, or who were there. Говорили, say, что им понравился. So, что is also kind of a relative word, or it's kind of like it's a conjunction which basically means that. So the tourists say that, что is that in this sense, and then им понравился. Again, this is basically a nice. It's a way of saying they liked it. Literally, it was like to them it was pleasing, or to them it was pleasant. And then y hotel, y more, y service. So I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but this is a common way of listing things in Russian. When you list several things that are all equally applicable to what you're saying, you usually start each one with an and, even the first one. So if I were to translate the sentence literally word for word, it sounds maybe a little bit strange. I'll go ahead and try it. Many tourists which were there said that them pleasant and hotel and sea and service. What do you mean sea as in like ocean?
Это дорого. Для семьи, в которой 5 человек, это очень дорого.
So, это дорого. It's expensive. Для семьи, for a family. And here it's в которой 5 человек, это очень дорого. For a family in which there are 5 people, it's very expensive. So here again, we see the use of which as a relative word. For a family in which there are 5 people, it's very expensive. And what form of kotor? So here it's kotoroi. That is probably, I believe it's prepositional. Yeah, it's in because it's reporting that the people are in the family. So the location of the people is in the family, and so it's prepositional with a v. And then семья is feminine, so you use the feminine prepositional. It becomes kotoroi. So yeah, for a family in which there are 5 people, it's very expensive.
Ну, согласен, а вот
Согласен is like, well, agreed, yeah, that this is true.
еще вариант.
Вот еще вариант, but here is yet another variant or option.
Отель, который вы видите на фото, новый.
Okay, the hotel. This is again который вы видите на фото новый. So the hotel which you see, this is the hotel which you see in the photograph is new. And который, that is then what form is that? Is that? Obviously could be nominative, masculine. Is there any other form that has that, any other combination that has that form? Oh yeah, I think it's actually accusative. I was thinking it wouldn't make sense if wouldn't make sense if it were nominative, because the hotel is actually the object in this part here, because it's saying you see the hotel. So you see the hotel. The hotel is actually then the object of the verb. The hotel is the thing being seen, and the hotel should actually then be in the accusative case. So I see it's here, down here, because it's an inanimate noun. Hotel is obviously not a person. It's not an animate noun. It's an inanimate noun. So I believe it's it's который, because it's accusative inanimate noun. That's the reason why it's in that form. Okay, so the hotel which you see in the photo is new.
Ему только 2 года.
Ему только 2 года. Excuse me. To him is only 2 years. It's only 2 years old because hotel is masculine. So the hotel is only 2 years old.
Да, но кроме отеля я не вижу ничего.
Yes, but кроме means like besides. Besides the hotel, я не вижу ничего. I don't see anything.
Нет моря, нет магазинов.
No ocean and no shops. So from the hotel, I can't see anything. Or apart from the hotel, I can't see anything. No ocean and no shops.
Ну, это не центр города, но...
Ну, это не центр города. It's not the center of the city.
Но это очень дешево.
But it's very cheap.
Давайте еще посмотрим.
Давайте еще посмотрим. Let us continue looking. Let's still look. So he's not satisfied. He wants to look for something else.
Вот еще вариант.
Вот еще вариант. Once again, here's another variant.
Этот отель находится рядом с отелем, который вам понравился.
Okay. Этот отель находится... This hotel is next to the hotel. Который вам понравился. So once again, hotel is masculine, and I think here it's nominative case because the hotel is pleasing to the guy. The hotel is basically the thing that's causing pleasure to the guy, and so the hotel is I think is the subject here, if I'm not mistaken, and so this hotel is next to the hotel which you liked, basically.
Но стоит он не так дорого.
But he is not expensive, or it's not expensive.
И море, о котором вы мечтаете, совсем рядом.
And the sea, о котором вы мечтаете, совсем рядом. So, and the ocean, of which you dream is nearby. So, o is obviously the prepositional case, and moре is, looks like usually nouns that end in E are neuters, so it should then be a neuter noun. So let's see. Prepositional case for neuter, is that kotorom? Let's find out. Let's see, neuter is the second one here. Yes, it is. So, prepositional for ana, neuter is kotorom. So I'm going to say that that makes sense. That seems to fit with what we have here. So, and the ocean of which you dream is nearby.
Мне нравится этот вариант.
I like this variant.
Я хочу заказать этот тур на 2 недели и на 5 человек.
Okay, so I want to order this tour for 2 weeks and for 5 people.
Отлично. Итак,
So, отлично is excellent, and итак is like, well, let's see.
и еще я должен вам сказать, что есть документы, без которых вы не можете лететь.
Okay. И еще, and still, я должен вам сказать, I should tell you, что есть документы, that there are documents, без, let's see, in this case, it's, без которых. Без которых вы не можете лететь. So, there are documents without which you may not fly. So, or you cannot fly, so you can't fly without those documents. Это паспорт, visa. So that's passport and visa. So he's letting him know you'll need your passport and visa. You won't be allowed to fly without them. So, которых. This is then, this should be genitive ani, because it's без. So he said без которых. And so без, something falls under genitive, and then because the documents are plural, it's ani. So, makes sense.
Это паспорт, виза, вот номера телефонов, по которым вы можете звонить в экстренных ситуациях.
Okay, boy, this guy talks fast. Well, I guess he's a salesperson, so. Okay, so let's see, hold on. Вот номеры телефонов. Here are telephone numbers. Book. What case is bo? That is dative, right? Okay, so this is покуторим. And let's see, does that make sense here? Where's покуторим? No, that doesn't make sense. Where do we have kotorim? So we have it here under instrumental. Where else do we have it? Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Internally, for some reason, I was thinking this should be so it's about the noun nomiera, and I thought for some reason that should be a feminine noun because it ends in a, but no, it's not feminine, it's plural, because number is nomier. So it's not feminine, it's plural, it's numbers. Here are telephone numbers. So then if you say that pa is dative, then it does make sense because you can see the dative case for ani, for plural, does use katarim. So, or katarim. So, okay, that makes sense. So here are telephone numbers. which you can call in ekstrenych sytuacjach, in like emergency situations. Let's go and let the guy talk.
Вот каталог ресторанов, в которых не очень дорого.
Okay, вот каталог ресторанов. Here's a catalog of restaurants. And once again, it's которых. And so this again should be prepositional because it's the location of something. And yes, because restaurants is plural, it's restaurants. So once again, it's prepositional for ani and is которых. So that's what we have here. That does seem to fit. So here's a catalog of restaurants in which it's not very expensive.
Вот список экскурсий, на которые обычно едут туристы.
Okay, вот список экскурсий. Here's a list of excursions or a list of trips, like a list of travel tours. Okay, what is the word here? На которые. And once again, this should be plural because excursi is, I believe this is, yeah, it's a list of excursions. So it's plural and using na. So na is, yeah, I believe that should be, yeah, that should be prepositional. Prepositional plural is indeed которых, as you see here on the right-hand side. So, okay, makes sense so far. Everything seems to be pretty consistent. So here is a list of excursions on which обычно едут турист. Typically tourists go, or usually go tourists. So here's a list of excursions in which tourists usually go.
А вот это цена, за которую вы можете купить этот тур.
Okay, and here is the price. Вот эта цена. This is the price. We only have two которых left, so we know it's got to be, we know these last two must be both которую. Yeah, okay. But let's go ahead and see. Цена is obviously feminine because it ends in a. So in what case does the feminine form become которую? It looks like so accusative, and that's it. So it must be accusative case. This is the price. Does za? Doesn't list za here as za actually shows up here under where was it? Sorry, here under instrumental case, but it looks like in this case it is the accusative case. So here's the price, за который for which вы можете купить этот тур, for which you can buy this tour. Вот скидка, and here is a discount, которую мы можем вам дать, which we may offer to you, если вы купите тур сейчас, if you buy the tour now. So here's a discount we can offer you if you buy the tour now. Skidka is also obviously feminine because it ends in a, and so this looks like, yeah, this is once again, it's accusative case because the discount is the direct target of the verb. They are offering the discount, and so the discount is being offered, it's the direct object, and therefore it's in the accusative case. Okay, and what does the client say?
А вот скидка, которую мы можем вам дать, если вы купите тур сейчас.
Спасибо, я буду платить сейчас. Вы кредитки принимаете?
Да, конечно.
Okay, and the client says, thank you, I will pay now. You credit accept, like you take credit cards? Да, конечно, yes, of course. So, There you go. I think you already have a pretty good idea. I think it's been made pretty clear how you use the word gătoriu in everyday speech. Here we have 4 simple examples, and actually it just says click on the link to break the chain. You don't have to do anything other than just click on these links to complete this exercise. But before we click on anything, let's read the first line here. So, это дом, this is a house. Это дом построил Джек. This is, obviously in English, this is the house that Jack built. Literally, it's house built Jack. I wonder, could you interpret this? Logically, obviously, it can't be the case, but linguistically, could this be interpreted as this is the house that built Jack? Because both dom and Джек are masculine nouns. So if we just say этот дом построил Джек, you could theoretically interpret this as this is the house that built Jack, and not this is the house that was built by Jack. But anyway, let's see what happens when we click on the chain. Это дом, который построил Джек. This is the house which was built by Jack. So, эта девушка, and эта девушка мне нравится. So this is a girl, and this girl pleases me, or I like this girl. Click on the link, and it becomes эта девушка, которая мне нравится. This is the girl which pleases me. Это море, it's the ocean. Она находится на юге. Море is neuter, and so that's why it's она. It flows to the south of Russia, and then you click on it, it becomes this is the sea which flows. The sea doesn't flow. Hold on, what is nakhaditsya? Let me just check. What is nakhaditsya? Somehow, I'm not. Let me just quickly try to translate that because. Which is located. Okay, I see. So this is the sea. It doesn't flow. This is the sea which is located in the south of Russia. So it started off saying this is the sea. This sea is located in the south of Russia, and then it turned it into a который sentence by saying this is the sea which is located in the south of Russia. Okay. And finally, это друзья. This is a friend, or these are friends. Они работают с мной. They work with me. So these are friends, they work with me. Click on the link and it becomes это друзья, которые работают с мной. These are the friends which work with me. Okay. And here we have this table which I have already used extensively in the first dialogue, so I think the idea is pretty clear. Once again, you have the 4 genders, he, it, she, and they at the top, and then down on the left side you've got the 6 cases, and you have the form of this word который for all genders and all cases. You have here 4 genders and 6 cases. 4 times 6 is 24. So you have a table of 24 elements that should be remembered. Actually, a little bit more because accusative, you can see accusative is different for whether it's an animate noun or an inanimate noun. The others are the same. The others just have 1 entry per cell, but accusative has slightly different entries for depending on whether it's an animate or an inanimate noun. Okay, start the table and complete the words with the correct endings. So here are some examples. Это мой брат, я звоню моему брату. So this is my brother, I call. Звоню is call, right? I believe that's I call my brother. Yeah, so I call my brother. And then this line says, this is my brother whom I am calling, or which I am calling. Это моя сестра, this is my sister. С моей сестрой я иду в кино. With my sister, I go into the cinema. And then, это моя сестра, с которой я иду в кино. This is my sister, with which I go into the cinema. And here's the final example. Это мой коллеги. This is my colleague, or these are my colleagues. У моих коллег много работы. My colleagues have a lot of work. And then it becomes это мои коллеги, у которых много работы. These are my colleagues, which have a lot of work. Okay. Scroll that over just a little bit because these lines are a little bit longer. All right, so это наш кот. This is our cat. Без нашего кота мы не можем жить. Without our cat, we cannot live. So this becomes это наш кот, без которого мы не можем жить. So this is the cat without which we cannot live. That should be, let's see. Kot is masculine. I think kot is a male cat. I think the more general Russian word for cat is koshka, which is obviously a feminine word. But if you know the cat is a male cat, you can say kot, which means like a tomcat, a male cat. So this is obviously masculine, and biz is genitive. So genitive masculine becomes которого. That should then be, here should be без которого. Okay. Это твои дети. This is your children. Ты всегда говоришь о твоих детях. You always talk about your children. And then the sentence obviously becomes, these are your children, about whom or about which you always speak. So, дети is plural and o is prepositional. So, prepositional for plural is которых. So this should be которых. Is that correct? I believe that is correct. Это ваша жена. This is your wife. Вы очень любите вашу жену. You very much love your wife. So the sentence becomes, this is your wife, which or whom you very much love. Wife is obviously feminine, and if you love your wife, I guess that's accusative. That's because the wife is the direct object of the love. So feminine accusative, and remember, obviously the wife is an animate noun. She's an animate object, not an inanimate object. So она accusative should be которую. Которую. Is that correct? I believe that is correct. Female accusative. Okay. Это их семья. This is their family. Их семья живет в Лондоне. Their family lives in London. And of course, the sentence becomes, this is their family, which lives in London. So, семья is... even though the family is them, I believe it's treated as a feminine, because it's grouped under this word semya, which is a feminine noun. So I believe, and since the family is the subject here, the family is living in London, I believe that this is actually nominative. Normally it's when the subject, when the doer in the sentence is doing something, then they're the subject of the sentence. So the family is feminine and nominative because it's the subject, so it should be feminine nominative is которая. Которая. Is that correct? I believe that is correct. Okay. Это моя фирма. This is my firm or my company. На этой фирме я работаю. In this company I work. And then the sentence becomes, this is my company in which I work. So na here is indicating the location of something. In this case, the person is saying, I work in this company. So in this company I work, that should be then prepositional, and firma is feminine. So we should have here a case of prepositional feminine, which you can see here is которой. So let's go ahead and fill that in. Которой. And moving on, это твое вино. This is your wine. Она очень дорого стоит. It really is very expensive. And so then the final sentence is, this is your wine, which is very expensive. Vino should be a neuter because it ends in O. And again, it should be the subject because the wine is costing a lot. The wine costs a lot, and so the wine is the thing doing something. The wine is costing, and so it should be nominative case, nominative, она is которое. So this should also be которое. I believe that's correct. Okay. Это известный русский писатель. This is a famous Russian writer. Okay. Этот писатель жил 20 лет назад. This writer lived 200 years ago. And so then obviously the final sentence is, this is the famous Russian writer which lived 200 years ago. So, писатель is... Wasn't this a special case if a word ends in the soft sign like that? Is that... Let's assume that this word is masculine, although I'm not sure if that is the case. I'm pretty sure the case here is nominative, yeah, because it's saying this is the writer which lived 200 years ago. So the writer it's basically just saying this. Whenever you say this is something, that's pretty much universally nominative case. So let's assume that it's masculine. Masculine nominative is который, like that. Let me just check. Is that correct? I believe that is correct, yeah. Looks like that is correct. Okay, fine. Это его девушка. This is his girl. С его девушкой я познакомился вчера. With his girl, I went on a date. Or let's just say met. I don't think this necessarily means went on a date with, but met with somebody at least. So with his girl, I met yesterday. So then the sentence becomes, this is his girl with whom I met yesterday. So s is instrumental. So we have instrumental case here, and girl is obviously она. It's obviously feminine. So instrumental feminine is которой. So this should be которой, like that. And number 5, last one, это ее клиент. This is her client. У ее клиента большие проблемы. Her client has big problems. And so the sentence becomes, this is her client, which has big problems. So, client should be masculine because it ends in a consonant. And then, whenever you say someone has, it's usually genitive. So it looks like we have a case of the genitive masculine. So, genitive masculine is которого. So I will put in here, if I can find the correct keys. Во, у которого. And finally, это моя страна. This is my country. Я люблю мою страну. I love my country. The sentence becomes, this is my country, which I love. So once again, country should be, so country is feminine, because it ends in A, and it should be accusative here. Once again, я люблю, I love something or someone, then that becomes accusative. But the country is obviously an inanimate object, even though sometimes you hear people talk about Mother Russia, but that's only figuratively speaking. I'm pretty sure that in Russian, country, even if the country is Russia, is construed as an inanimate noun. And so feminine, inanimate noun, accusative, We don't have a special one for feminine. Okay, so it looks like the thing for inanimate noun only applies for masculine and plural, but for feminine it's always которую. So let's go ahead and put in here которую. And indeed, it looks like everything was correct. Very nice. Well done. See, this lesson makes sense. You just have to look at the table here, and as long as you go by the table, it doesn't seem too complicated. Everything's making sense so far. Okay, task number 4. Getting along pretty well, I think, actually. Это мои деньги, something, yes, заработал. It's my money, which I earned, I believe. I don't think we've seen this verb заработал before, but yeah, it's like he's saying this is my money which I earned myself. So, which form do we use here? I'm going to say, so деньги is plural. I think I've emphasized many times before by now. Деньги is always plural. And you say, I earn the money, so it should be accusative, right? And remember, accusative, especially because it distinguishes between inanimate and animate nouns. Well, I'm pretty sure that money is inanimate. Money is not a living thing. So on the right, you should see которые. So I'm going to go ahead and say that the correct form here is которые, because it is an inanimate plural in the accusative case. Okay, у меня нет друга. I don't have a girlfriend, or at least I don't have a female friend who speaks Russian well, который хорошо говорит по-русски. I don't have a girlfriend who speaks Russian well. So, Oh, this gets a bit tricky because in the first part of the sentence here, the person is saying, I don't have a girlfriend. And so you might think, well, that's a genitive because he's saying у меня нет. But then in the second part, it's saying who speaks Russian well. So in the second part of the sentence, the girlfriend, the theoretical girlfriend who doesn't exist, suddenly becomes the actor. She's speaking Russian well. Even though she doesn't exist, I mean, the girlfriend, he doesn't have such a friend, but the point is that in this part of the sentence, the theoretical person is the one doing something. So what's the correct, hold on, let me just check my answers here because I don't want to make a mistake. So the correct answer here is который. Okay, and now let's find out why. Which case is this? Который. So I'm looking under она, and I don't see this form of который anywhere under она. So I'm going to assume that I mistakenly assumed that the friend must be feminine, and in fact, yeah, it's actually, looks like it's probably masculine nominative then. Okay, so in this case, I think what's probably happened is I've mistakenly assumed that it's a girlfriend because it says druga, but I think this is actually not the case. So let me go ahead and actually check on, let me quickly check on Wiktionary. So I just want to make sure that I'm getting this right. So the word was druga. And if we punch this into Wiktionary, aha, see? Druga is not actually female. It is masculine. It's a masculine, it's referring to a male friend, but it's the genitive form. I get it. Okay, so what's happened here, once again, I apologize, I made a mistake. So he's using the genitive form of drug. So drug is just the general word for friend, probably a male friend. I think a female friend would use a different form. But because he's saying у меня нет друг, he does not have a friend, drug becomes druga. So it's у меня нет друга. In the genitive form, I don't have a friend who speaks Russian well. And because the friend in the second part of the sentence, so in the first part here, it's genitive, but after the comma suddenly becomes nominative because suddenly the friend, the theoretical friend who doesn't exist, is speaking Russian. So in this case, it's just plain old masculine nominative, and therefore it is который. Okay. That makes sense. I just had to interpret it a little bit. I mean, it makes sense when you think about it. It's just you have to know these things. I mean, I didn't know that druga is actually. I mean, I probably should know by now, but you know, it's all these little things, all these little details. You really gotta pay attention to those details, or you'll get tripped up. You'll get caught up in something that you missed, and suddenly things won't make sense anymore. So. Я не знаю девушку. I don't know a girl who видел вчера вечером в театре. I don't know a girl who видел, who saw. So вчера вечером is last night in the theater. I think he means I don't know the girl whom I saw. Okay, he saw a girl in the theater last night, and he's saying, I don't know the girl whom I saw. So he saw her, that should then be accusative. Should be accusative case because he, if you say, I see the girl, then the girl is in the accusative case. She's the direct subject of the, or direct object of the verb. And девушка is feminine, and obviously it's an animate noun. A girl is obviously a living thing. So we have accusative, we have, actually it doesn't matter because for feminine nouns you don't have special animate and inanimate things. So we just have accusative female. Accusative female is которую. Ую. Okay. So I don't know the girl whom I saw last night in the theater. Moving on. Martin wants to познакомиться. Martin wants to get to know. С человеком. Martin wants to get to know someone. Такое же хобби, как и у него. The Russian phrasing is very difficult, I realize, for English speakers, but I think what this means is Martin wants to get to know a person who has, basically it says who has the same hobby as he does. So Martin has some kind of a hobby, and it's saying he wants to meet someone and get to know someone who has the same hobby as him. Человек is a person. Google Translate very often translates this as man, which is completely wrong. A man is a muzhin. A человек is not a man specifically, unless you mean man as in human. You know, sometimes people say man as in like man is mortal, meaning not a male, but a human. So yeah, in that sense you can say man, but it doesn't mean an adult male. It means a human being. Человек is a human or a person. So Martin wants to meet a person who has the same hobby as him. So u is in this case genitive. So, and человек is masculine because it ends in a consonant. So we have a masculine genitive case. Looks like it should be которого. So let's go ahead and plug in которого here and feel very glad that we got the right answer. I think that's the right answer. Эти документы. These are the documents. So these are the documents without which Peter не может работать. These are the documents without which Peter cannot work. Documents, this is documents plural, and без, once again, it should be genitive. So what do we have for genitive plural? We have которых. So let's go ahead and put in которых. Yes. Okay, это море, this is the ocean, on which Olga поедет летом. This is the ocean on which Olga goes in the summer. Okay. What I'm not sure of is na. So we see here that na shows up under prepositional, but it also shows up here under accusative. The deal is there is a distinction between being on the lake or on the sea and going onto the sea. If you say I'm going onto something, that's accusative. But if you say I am already on something, then that's prepositional. So I'm going to assume that this is accusative because I think this is saying that Olga will go on to the Moria in the summer. So let's go ahead and work with that assumption. And Moria should be neuter. So we've got neuter accusative, if I'm getting that right. Которое. Is that correct? Let me just quickly check that. I just want to make sure. Это море на которое. Yeah, that is correct. Okay, so Moria is neuter, and it's saying that Olga will go on to the sea. So it's not, even though being on the sea is a position, and so you might think it's prepositional. No, it's not that Olga is on the sea, but she is going on to the sea, and that makes it accusative, which is a whole other case altogether. Okay, moving on. Dieter, not Peter, but Dita, which is actually, if I'm not mistaken, that is a German name and not a Russian name, but okay. Dieter, не любит людей, does not like people, which говорят неправду, tell lies. So pravda, the pravda is the truth, and nepravda is untruth or lie. So Dita does not like people who tell lies. All right, well, that's very German of him, isn't it? So люди is plural, and here in this part of the sentence, so in the first part of the sentence, the people are accusative because it's saying Dita is not liking them, so the people are the object of the sentence. But here they become the subject because it's saying the people are telling lies, or the people tell lies. So this should be, unless I'm mistaken, this should be plural because people is plural, should be plural nominative, which gives us которые. Is that correct? I believe, unless I'm greatly mistaken, I believe that is correct. I could be wrong, in which case Dita won't like me very much, but I hope that I'm not telling a lie so that Dita will like me. Maybe I'll be best friends with Dita because I'm not lying. Okay, moving on. Maria живет в доме. Maria lives in house. Около which near which красивый park. So Maria lives in a house near which is a beautiful park. Около, this preposition, what case does it invoke? Looks like genitive, because it appears here under genitive. It's not a preposition that we've seen very much in these lessons thus far. But this should be genitive and then dom. I don't see here it says domye because this is prepositional case. But dom is a, unless I'm greatly mistaken, it's a masculine noun. So okolo, so we have genitive masculine, which should be которого. So let's go ahead and take a big old которого and plop it down there in the blank space. Okay, tort, a cake, or like a... Is there a difference between tort? Is there another word for cake in Russian? I don't think so. I think tort is just a regular cake. Russia doesn't necessarily have cakes in the way that... well, I mean, they do exist in Russia, but Russian cakes tend to be more like pies. Like they don't typically have these sort of big cakes that often exist in Western countries. That Russia has a rather singular conception of what a cake is supposed to be. But anyway, cake. The cake which мы вчера купили, which we bought yesterday, очень вкусный. Oh, the cake which we bought yesterday is very tasty. Okay. Tort should be masculine because it ends in a consonant. And we bought the cake, so that should be accusative. We bought the cake. The cake is the direct object of the verb. So we have a masculine accusative. And, let's not forget, accusative distinguishes between animate and inanimate. Well, the cake is hopefully an inanimate object. I hope they didn't buy a living cake. That means we have a case of accusative, masculine, inanimate noun, which gives us kotori. So let's go ahead and plug this in there. And by process of elimination, since we just have one line left, we know that that must be this. And yes, it looks like we got everything correct. Very nice. But just for completeness' sake, let's go ahead and actually read the sentence. Он говорил с клиентом, he spoke with client, у которого сейчас больше проблемы, who now has big problems. So, client is masculine, and again, u is genitive, so masculine genitive, where is it? Here's masculine, here's genitive masculine, которого. And indeed, it is которого, just as the table said. See, once again, this lesson makes sense. You just go by the table, and as long as you pay attention to the table and do things the right way, then everything makes sense. Everything works out fine in the end. This is easy. The hard part will be memorizing the table. Boy, we still have quite a ways to go. We've been going on for almost an hour, and we still have quite a bit to do. But let's see. Let's be troopers and make it through this lesson. Это известная картина. This is, hold on, известная картина. It's a famous picture. It's a famous picture about which everyone speaks. So, o is prepositional, and kартина is feminine, so prepositional feminine in this case is которой. О которой. Бабушка читала журнал. Grandma or grandmother read the newspaper in which много рецептов, in which there are many recipes. Okay. Journal is magazine. A newspaper is a gazeta, but journal is like a magazine. So Babushka read the magazine in which there are many recipes. So journal should be masculine because it ends in a consonant, and the here it's prepositional because we're saying in the magazine. So in the prepositional masculine is kotorom. This should be kotorom. Moving on. Это наши друзья. This is our friends, or these are our friends. Okay, so s is instrumental and друзья is plural. So what do we have for instrumental plural? We have kotoremi. которыми. Looks like this one. So, and let's finish the sentence. Это наши друзья, с которыми завтра мы идем в музей. These are our friends with which we go to the museum, with which tomorrow we go to the museum. So we're going to the museum with these friends tomorrow. Где твоя девушка? Where is your girl? Okay, so once again, девушка, с is instrumental and девушка is feminine. So instrumental feminine is которой. С которой. Где твоя девушка, с которой ты хотел меня So where is your girl with whom you wanted me to meet? Okay, so you wanted me to meet your girl, so the question is saying, where's your girl whom you wanted me to meet? Okay, Rodion, this is a masculine name. I think it's not a common masculine name, although it rings a bell to me. Was this the first name of Raskolnikov? So, of course, in Dostoevsky's classic novel Crime and Punishment, the protagonist is named Raskolnikov, but that is his last name. I think Rodion might have been his first name, but I don't remember his first name now. I just always remember him as Raskolnikov because that's how the novel usually calls him. That's what everyone calls him. Anyway, Rodion, it's a person's name. Rodion купил новую квартиру в доме. Rodion bought a new apartment in the house. I think in this case, dom is better translated as building, because dom is it's house. It's also building. So like so Rodion bought a new apartment in the building next to which he lived before. Bought an apartment in the building next to which he lived before. So, dom is masculine, s is instrumental, so instrumental masculine is которым. Которым. Yes. Я не люблю директора. I don't like the director, which я должен писать отчет, for which I need to write a report. I think. Let me just quickly make sure here. Is that right? Actually, I don't. Okay. This is которому. Just looking at my cheat sheet here. It's которому, which means, again, is this the female director? I mean, a director can be a woman as well, but I don't think. Let me copy and paste this into Wiktionary because I think. My first impulse was to think it's, Again, my first impulse was to think that it's a female director, but no, it's probably just because it's accusative. So accusative singular of director is directora, directora. So with an A on the end. So it's not a female director, it's just a director. So it's, so it's a masculine noun and then dative. Yeah, I get it. So I don't like the director for whom I need to write a report, but in English you'd have to use a word like I'm writing it for the director. In Russian, because Russian has more cases, you can just use the dative case here. So you can say like I'm writing him a report. So you're not doing anything. There's no specific verb that's acting on the director, but the director is the indirect target of the noun because I'm writing him the report. And so the director is in the dative case here. And for a dative masculine object, который becomes которому. Okay. Женя идет к мужу. The wife goes to the husband, which Она купила подарок. Once again, it's dative. Actually, that should be the same one because it's dative and it's for the husband. So it's actually, once again, которому, isn't it? Because, yeah, it's masculine, and she bought him a gift. So the wife bought a gift. The gift is in the accusative case because it's the direct recipient or it's the direct target of the noun, but she bought the husband a gift. So she bought him a gift, and so the husband is in the dative case. So both of these lines are masculine. Both these lines are которому because they have masculine dative case. Okay, getting there. Преподаватель очень любит студентов. So the teacher very much likes students. So with which he works. Okay, so I believe this is plural and s is instrumental. So instrumental plural is которыми. Которыми. Yeah, because again, plural, instrumental. Teacher really likes students with which he works. I wonder if he likes them inappropriately. Okay, Lena не может смотреть фильм. Lena does not want to watch films. So, filme is plural and the is, it's in the film, so this should be prepositional plural. Prepositional plural is которых. Которых. Lena does not want to watch films in which много убийств, in which there are many murders. Not a word that I don't think that we've seen this word in our Russian lessons before. Hopefully it's not a word that you need to use too often in your everyday life. Maybe it is depending on what line of work you're in, but I mean, yeah, I guess if you're a coroner or a police officer or something, maybe. But yeah, Lena does not want to watch movies in which there are a lot of murders. And finally, Mama думает о детях. Let's just go ahead and put in the word because we know by process of elimination that's the last one. Yeah, it looks like everything is correct. Mama thinks about the children, о детях, к которым она сейчас идет. So she's going to the children. So k is dative, and the children are plural, so it's которым, and yes, indeed, it is которым. So it makes sense. Everything makes sense. This is a long lesson, and I wouldn't say it's an easy lesson, but at least everything makes sense. As long as you just keep using that table, everything makes sense here. Okay, now we have, holy mackerel, we have 6 different audio clips here. Wow, this is a long lesson, man. Okay, let's have a list. I think we're getting close. After this, we have just, yeah, okay. We're almost done.
Вот дом, который построил Джек.
Okay, вот дом, который построил Джек. So this is the house which Jack built.
А это пшеница, которая в темном чулане хранится.
Whoa, okay, hold on. So, wait, no, that's, hold on. Let me quickly check a translation of this because I am... So yeah, so this is the house which Jack built, and this is the wheat. Okay, pszenica, that I'm pretty sure we've not seen this word before. This is the wheat. How often do you have to talk about wheat in your everyday life? Probably, I think this is a direct copy of some old Russian. Well, actually, it's the house that Jack built. I mean, this is probably the... I actually don't even know the original text of the house that Jack built in English, but this has probably just been directly translated into Russian, and that's why it's using words that you wouldn't necessarily... I mean, I don't think I talk about wheat every day. You probably don't either unless you're a farmer or someone who deals in wheat or maybe a baker. But anyway, this is the wheat, and this word is feminine, you can see because it ends in an A, so let's take the feminine form, it's которая.
В доме, который построил Джек.
Okay, hold on, Missed a line there. Okay. And this is the wheat, which in dark closet is stored in the house which Jack built.
А это веселая птица-синица,
And this is the bird,
которая часто ворует пшеницу, которая в темном чулане хранится в доме, который построил Джек.
Okay, this is getting... I think at this point they're just messing with us because these are not words that you'll be expected to know at this level. I think they gave us a cute little poem to fill in, but you're not expected to know all these words. I'm going to go ahead and just put in the correct answers, and I'll try to loosely translate the poem as I go because I've got a translation in front of me, but don't rely on this... Don't feel stressed out if you don't know if you don't understand all this text yet. So what does this say? And this is the little bird who steals the wheat stored in the dark closet in the house that Jack built. Okay, part 2.
Вот кот, который пугает и ловит синицу.
This is the cat. Hold on, let me go ahead and translate that. Go and translate that, cat. Go, cat, go. I did not prepare this ahead of time because this is getting a little bit ridiculous now. So let me go ahead and translate it now. Okay, this is the cat. And cat is masculine, so it should be kotori. This is the cat who scares and catches the bird.
Которая часто ворует пшеницу, которая в темном чулане хранится в доме, который построил Джек.
Okay, yeah. I'm just going to go ahead and put this stuff in and not... I'm not going to give explanations for why. I mean, it's pretty simple. The male nouns take kotari and the female nouns take kotaraya. So, this is the cat who scares and catches the bird, who steals the wheat which is stored in the dark closet in the house that Jack built.
Вот пес без хвоста, который за шиворот треплет кота, который пугает и ловит синицу, которая часто ворует пшеницу, которая в темном чулане хранится в доме, который построил Джек.
Yes, it is. Okay. Вот пес без хвоста. This is the dog without a tail. So normally dog is собака, but this is using the word пес, which I think is some kind of special form of dog, which is not typically used. It's the dog which does this and then you got that again, and then you've got that, and you've got that. If I can get it in the slot properly, and then house is again. Oh, it automatically advanced to the next one. So I'll try to read the translation of this quickly. This is the dog without a tail, who catches the cat by its collar, which scares the bird, which steals the wheat, which is stored in the closet in the house that Jack built. Yes, is this how the original English poem went as well? It must have been. I think I never, as a child, I never read The House That Jack Built. I mean, I'd heard about it, but I think I never read the entire poem. But this must be how it goes in English, and they've just translated it into Russian. So, moving on.
А это корова безрогая, легнувшая старого пса без хвоста, который за шиворот треплет кота, который пугает и ловит синицу, которая часто ворует пшеницу, которая в темном чулане хранится в доме, который построил Джек.
I think they used the word pils for dog instead of собака because it made the meter of the rhyme sound better. So, so this, hold on. So for number 3, let me go ahead and run this through a translator real quick. Okay. Okay. Это коровая безгорая. And this is the cow, which, okay. All right, I see. So hold on, let me go ahead and fill this stuff in. Come on. So, is this correct? Yeah, I think that's correct. Okay, so this is the cow lying next to the dog without a tail, who catches the cat by the collar, who scares the bird, who steals the wheat which is stored in the closet in the house that Jack built. Can't believe they're doing this to us. They're doing this on purpose. After a long lesson like this, they're tormenting us with a poem like this that just is obviously deliberately stacked to just go on forever. Okay, part 4. It's almost over. I mean, I want to finish off because I know it's almost over. After this, we just have one simple exercise left. So I'm gonna try and see this through to the end. But this is just a little bit mean. This is like one of those mean Russian tricks that Russians like to play on people. You know, this is part of Russian culture. Russians love practical jokes. They like to play jokes on people. So. Let's see. So that's Gotoraya because it's a woman, and then this is Gotori because it's the dog, and this is about the cat, and then this is about that thing, and then this is about the house again, and that's about that thing. So, okay. So, and this is an old woman with gray hair, gray-haired and stern, who milked the cow, who is lying next to the dog, who catches the cat, who scares the bird, who steals the wheat, which is stored in the closet in the house that Jack built. Okay, 2 more. Pastuch. Hold on, what's a pastuch? Let me translate this one now. This is surreal. This is like Learn Russian with David Lynch. A shepherd. Okay, pastuch is apparently shepherd. Did not know that. Don't think you need to know that unless you're going into that line of work in Russia. You probably don't need to know that word in Russian right now. I think that can wait till later. So, so we have that, and we have that, and we have that, and we have that, and we have that. So, hold on, let me just quickly check this. Is this right? That looks right to me. So, this says, and this is the lazy and fat shepherd who fights with, who fights with somebody who milked the cow, who is lying next to the dog, who catches the cat, who scares the bird, who steals the wheat, which is in the closet in the house that Jack built. And finally, вот два петуха. Here are 2, I don't know what pitucha are either, so let's go ahead and translate this. If you folks are still watching, that's, I think this is just like a fun, okay. Google Translate, for pitucha, Google Translate gives me 2 cocks. That would be pretty funny if it was, yeah, and I'm pretty sure it means roosters. So I'm going to say, here are 2 roosters. Hold on, wait, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay, oh, now it gets a little trickier because it's 2 roosters, so it's plural. So it's Gotorye. 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 And then Gotorye. And then again Gotorye. And then 2 more Gotoryas, and then finally a Gotori. And yes, okay, we got everything correct, thank goodness. So here are the 2 roosters who woke up that shepherd, who fights with the person that milked the cow that's lying next to the dog, who caught the cat, who scares the bird, that steals the wheat, which is in the closet, in the house that Jack built. Way to go, Jack. Also, looking at the house, it looks like he didn't build it very well. Who builds a house like that? Okay, not going to worry about it now because we are down to the last exercise. And I think this one is pretty straightforward because you can see this actually doesn't use kotori. Well, it does use kotori, but it's all человек. So these are all человек, which is a masculine noun. And these are all nominatives, so they're all just kotori. This is actually just kind of a cool down exercise where you match the description of the job to the profession. So, человек, который учит детей в школе, a person who teaches children in the school, is a teacher, obviously. Where's the word for teacher here? Учитель. There we go. That should be correct. That person is the teacher is an учитель. Человек, который работает на заводе, фабрике. The person who works in a factory is a. I believe the word is just рабочий, I think рабочий is just like a worker, like a factory worker. Человек, который руководит фирмой, компанией, заводом, the person who manages a firm or a company is a manager. Probably here they want director. Yeah, director is obviously a manager. What is the difference between a director and a manager? I think a director is one specific type of manager. Anyway, человек, который тренирует спортсменов, the person who trains sportsmen or athletes, is a trainer. And here we have тренер, the trainer, тренер. Человек, a person who works in a restaurant. Ooh, a person who works in a restaurant is a waiter. What's the Russian word for a waiter? I think it's this, официант. Официант is a waiter in a restaurant, I believe, in Russian. Человек, который продает вещи в магазине, a person who sells things in a store or in a shop, is a продавец. Sales person, sales associate. Yeah. Человек, который играет на бирже, person who plays in the stock market is, that's a stockbroker, right? Брокер. Человек, который ездит на такси. The person who drives taxi is a taxist, taxi driver. Человек, который пишет компьютерные программы. Person who writes computer programs is a программист. And I apologize that my browser appears to be cutting off the text of the last line. It says, человек, который пишет стихи. We saw that word стихи in a recent lesson when it was recommended that a man write стихи, poetry, for his wife. So, person who writes стихи is a poet, a poet. And there we go. With that, a very long lesson is complete. And I hope that this made sense. This is a little bit different because here we actually have some interesting vocabulary for professions and activities which we haven't seen before, I don't think. And then this whole thing with the house that Jack built, this is this is a poem that uses more advanced words, like more poetic words, which you're not going to see in everyday Russian. But the rest of this, I think, made perfect sense. It's just about knowing the right form. Again, you take the right case, you take the right gender, or plural if it's plural, and then you just look it up in the table, and you're done. You've got the right form of the word который. So it's a very simple word. I hope that the usage of the word is apparent by now. It's really not that complicated. They really dragged it out a little longer than they needed to, in my opinion. But anyway, this has been lesson 28 of Learn Russian with Learn Russian. Thank you for sticking around, everyone. It's time for us to go. So I will say пока until the next lesson.